God bless your bones, America. I'm your host, the Right Reverend David Clark, and I'm more than happy to come into your home today and to share the enlightenment of God's everlasting word. I believe that God has a message for you today. I believe that He's going to transform your life when you embrace this message and mix it with your faith. Just remember, only what you do for Christ will last, and God will strengthen your heart as you delight yourself in the Lord. Our messenger is coming from North Dakota and around the world. He's a worldwide traveler and a pastor, Dr. Tony Riches. Welcome to Across the Pastor's Desk.
Thank you, Reverend Clark. Pleasure to be here. I appreciate that. And I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you for a few minutes because I want to talk to you about something that I think is very important and very personal. And I want to talk about you. I want to talk about going forward because so many people that I meet in life all over the world are in a situation where they're saying, you know, Pastor, it would be so wonderful if I could only accomplish this, if I could only do this. And I say, why not? What's holding you back? Well, it's money, well, it's education, well, it's this, it's that. And I say, but those things can be overcome. It might take a little time, but you can overcome them, and you can go forward. So I want to talk with you today about going forward, and I want to start out by asking two questions. If time and money were of no importance to you, what would you be doing? What would you be doing? You know, when I said that, there was something deep down in here that tugged at you. Something deep down in here that reminded you, maybe it's been suppressed for years, but that dream is still there. That dream, that opportunity, that time that I want to just do this. If I could just do this, I would be so happy. Well, my second question is, why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you moving towards it? Yeah, I know you've got kids, and I know you've got bills, and I know you've got a job, and I know you've got all the other things that you'll have regardless of what you do in life. So why not take the time and sit down and say, what do I need to do to get to where I want to be? To satisfy that deep yearn that's deep inside of me. You know, several years ago in Dallas, Texas, a radio station did an experiment. And one morning, they called 100 people, and they said, okay, this is WXYZ radio. Tomorrow morning at 7:30 in the morning, a helicopter is going to land on your front lawn. It's going to pick you and a guest up. It's going to take you to the airport. It's going to take you to the destination of your choice. We will fly you first class, where you will stay for 1 week in the most exclusive and the most exotic hotel, and you'll have all the food you want. You'll go to all the best shows. We'll give you $500 a day spending money, and at the end of that week, we'll fly you back first class to your airport. Get on that same helicopter, take you back to your home. Here's the question, though. Can you be ready at 7:30 tomorrow morning? 100 people, they asked. You know, Reverend Clark, people started going, oh my gosh, yes, I'll be, wait a minute. I have this meeting tomorrow, Wednesday, I got this big proposal. Oh, the kids have soccer. Who's going to take care of you've got to be, I don't think I can. 97 people said they could not do it. Most of them said, "Can you give me 3 weeks to a month to get ready?" The 3 that could do it, 2 were retired and 1 was a college student that said, "Yeah, I can blow classes off for a week." Where are you? Why are you being a someday I'll person? Someday I'll get to this. Someday I'll have the opportunity to travel. Someday we'll get a chance to do what we really want to do. You know, success comes in cans and not in can'ts. You've got to be able to say, yes, I can do this. And then you got to get disciplined enough and determined enough to do it. Shaq O'Neal, from the time he was a small child, before breakfast every morning until he retired in the NBA, 500 free throws every morning before breakfast. Even when he was a big NBA star, 500 free throws every morning. The discipline. Yes, I can do this. Yes, I will continue to do this. I will stay focused on this. Don't say you can't. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team for not being fast enough. One of the greatest players in the NBA. You see, if he would have said, I can't do it, what would have happened to him? Where would he have been today? What about you? What are your successes? What are your cans in life? What can you do? What will you do? How will you do it? I believe it all starts with your attitude. I really do. I think so much of life is your attitude. The late Zig Ziglar used to say, give yourself a checkup from the neck up. And that's so true, because your attitude is a decision that you make to act in a certain way based on your values, your belief, your history, your experience, your baggage. We all have it. We all have every one of those. And we all have the decision every day to say, yes, I'm going to go forward, or I'm going to hold myself back for another day. And yes, you have that decision. Well, Tony, you don't know. You don't understand. Yes, I do. I know it's not easy. I understand completely that it is not easy. I see people in some of the worst conditions in the world, and yet their attitude and their spirit is, we can do this. With faith, we can do this. I can make this. One of the most interesting things that I find when I travel is that in many other countries, one of the most important things to people is a Bible.
Yes.
When I come back home to the United States, we won't even allow prayer in school. We just have to, in some way, we have kind of shunned and closed the door. And so we have to have the attitude that, you know what, we've got to do it ourselves then. We've got to take the time and we have to make it work. No matter what happens, it is your attitude that you have total control over in all situations and circumstances. Let me say that again. It is your attitude. You have the choice. You have the decision, not your boss, not your friend down the street. You have that attitude and you have the opportunity to take control over your circumstances and your situations. And Reverend Clark, so many people give it away. They give that circumstance, that situation away because, well, you see, John said I couldn't do it. Bill said I couldn't do it. My teacher said I couldn't do it. My boss said I couldn't do it. Well, what do you think? That's the question I have for you. What do you think? Can you do it? What if Jesus would have said, I don't think I can do this. This is just too much. I think I'm just going to sit over here and let somebody else,
Right.
let somebody else take up my cross, in effect. Your attitude does determine your altitude. So many people that are successful in life that I talk with, and I ask them, what are some of the keys for your success? And invariably, one of the top 2 or 3 things that I come up with, or they come up with that I hear, is, Tony, it's my attitude. I had to program myself. We all have little R2-D2s up here for Star Wars fans. And we have to program ourselves. We have to program ourselves for success. It's not just going to come knocking at your door. God put a seed of greatness in you when you were young. But He didn't say, okay, now it's going to be, here's the silver spoon that goes along with it.
Yes.
He's saying, you know what? My son had to be crucified.
What you say.
Why should I make it easier for you? How much faith do you have? Not only when you have faith in God, you have faith in yourself. Because we're made in God's image.
Yes.
So why are we putting ourselves down and at the same time putting God down? God can do great things in your life if you allow Him. If you allow Him. Zig Ziglar used to always say, stop that stinking thinking, and that's what it is. There's so much toxin and pollutants that go into our thinking. Look, go to your television and listen to any news station, watch the ads on TV, open up any magazine, and we're bombarded by negative thoughts. We're bombarded by negative actions. We have to be careful with that because it will take over our life. It will take over our attitude.
Yes.
It'll get in there, and then all of a sudden, years have gone by, and we look back and we say, what happened?
Yes.
Why didn't I? Someday I'll get it done. Be careful. Don't be one of those trapped in that thought. Mark Twain said, another way to put it is, a rut is a grave with the ends kicked out. And the real tragedy in life is that many of us climb into that rut at an early age, and we just stay there blaming everyone and everything else until they close up the ends. You were created for greatness, and you are a winner. God has created you for that. Now, you may not take home the gold medal and be an Olympic athlete, but you can be a winner in whatever it is you choose to do in life. Just by getting in there and staying focused and driving towards it, makes you that winner. Don't let anyone steal your dreams. We give away our dreams too often. So I want to ask you and tell you, you have it inside you. You do have it inside you. You have it inside you to be as great as you want to be, to go as far as you want to go. No, it's not going to be easy. Of course not. Anything worthwhile takes time. And so you have the desire to do it. You have the true desire to be a winner. You have a gift that must be opened. You don't just sit there and not open and expose your gift, because you know what? You're helping others. And you don't even know who you're helping. I had a neighbor one time who was retired, and I was talking with him, and he just I don't really know if there's much to do. I don't do a whole lot. And about 3 weeks later, I came home, and he came over, and he said, guess what? He said, I have a purpose. And I said, great, what's that? And he said, the kid down the street, I don't even know his name. He said, but came over to me and started talking about the profession that he retired from, that he's interested in it, and asked him if he would help him. He said, I never even realized I was influencing that kid. Who are you influencing? Even if it's yourself. Follow your dreams. Don't let others create the dreams for you, because you know what happens? If you got the wrong attitude, your attitude will cause you to either soar with the eagles or waddle with the ducks. It's up to you. You can be down there with the ducks waddling around, looking up all the time and wondering, wow, what's it really like up there? Or you can take the opportunity that's in front of you and maybe gain a little bit more education, maybe gain a little bit more experience, maybe even change professions, maybe turn something into a hobby, but start looking beyond where you are right now and start looking at the vistas that are out there and the success that you will create and make by doing this. The way you respond to your passion will either allow you to rise to the occasion or fall from the opportunity. See, that's up to you. You have made a choice every day. I am either going to rise to the occasion that's in front of me, and I'm going to put aside all the baggage that I have from my past, and I'm going forward, or I'm going to fall from that opportunity by complaining, by being bitter, by bickering, by saying, what happened? What happened? Well, what's happened is in the past. Take it from right now and start going forward. That's what I want you to do. I want you to understand that. You see, we become imprisoned in a life of a negative attitude, or you can free yourself by constantly striving and looking ahead. Don't be imprisoned. You know, there's a story where a gorilla was in a zoo, and he was in a 12-foot cage, and he could go 6 feet in one direction, 6 feet in another direction. And for most of his life, he went 6 feet this way, 6 feet that way. Every day, 6 feet this way for years. A game preserve in Africa purchased the gorilla, transported him to Africa, put him on the game reserve, and opened the cage And the gorilla came out, and the gorilla walked 6 feet in this direction, turned around, walked 6 feet in this direction. Same thing. See, it's what he was conditioned to do. What about you and your dreams? What about your life? Are you just constantly moving in 6 feet in this direction and stopping? Because this is what I've always done? Because people have put me down? People have told me I can't do it? I'm not good enough? People have not acknowledged my ability, my leadership skills? Don't you do that to yourself. Don't play that game. Turn around and keep walking forward. Let them, don't waddle in their pity. I have a friend who always says, Tony, don't ever go down to their level. And that's what I say to you right now. Don't go down to that level. Rise above it. Rise above it. Look ahead and not constantly behind. Don't let your lack of action to your dreams make you a prisoner within your own mind. Many of us, that'll happen so many times. Reverend Clark, so many times that will happen is we'll just encase ourselves in our own pity and our own misery. And I heard one pastor say one time, you know what, I'm going to go out and I'm going to go to a liquor store, I'm going to buy you a bottle of wine so you can serve it with cheese with your pity party that you're throwing for yourself. Be careful. Be careful. Develop winning relationships with yourself and others. Start associating with those people that are at that level that you want to aspire to. There's nothing wrong with friendships, and if you've got friendships that you've had for years, and they're your friends, and you're all there together, but at some point in time, you got to find somebody and some friends that are going to move you to the level that you want to be.
Yes.
Because if not, you're going to stay where you always have been. You see, if you want positive people around you, then you must display a positive attitude. You've got to develop a positive attitude. Your dreams are discerned either in a negative or a positive way. That's up to you. You make the choice. You tell the story. It's your story. Don't let others take advantage of it and take it for you. So open the window of your mind and change your attitude for life. Or move forward on your dreams and watch your whole world change. There's opportunities out there for you if you will take advantage of them. And I say this to everybody, read the Word. Read the Word. Understand how God's Word is impacting your life, how it's embracing your life, and how also it's a resource for where you want to be. Learn from God's Word. Learn from what He's teaching you. My favorite verse is Isaiah 40:31. For those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They will rise up with wings as eagles. They will run and not be weary. They will walk and not faint. That should be you. Don't you walk or faint. Rise up on wings as eagles. Rise up and see what happens. See where you go. See what your destiny is really all about. And when you do, you go forward. Reverend Clark, I want people to go forward in everything they do.
Yes.
And not just sit there and say, okay, that sounded good. That was a good rah-rah, feel-good speech. I don't want that. I want you to take action and do something with your life.
I want you to mix your faith and this word that you received today so that you can guarantee results. For only what you do for Christ will last. Again, and again, I thank you, Dr. Richards.
Thank you.
For coming forth with that beautiful message. And I believe that it will transform so many who listen to this word today. Your leadership is excellent. I recommend you to all the leaders in this part of the country and around the world. I believe you are gifts to the body of Christ, and I know that you will bring the assignment that God has given you. And I know you have prepared yourself to deliver that assignment. So again, I thank you for your dedication, your consecration, and your meditation on the Word of God. And thank you for blending it in a way that we be able to digest it and nourish our hearts. Thank you so much for being with you. God bless your bones, America.